We're on here? All right, those of you that listen to us on the internet or podcast, we attach this little internet feed before the show, and we think it's a very smart idea because we can chat calmly about whatever we want to talk about. And today we're welcoming to the studio Michael Catherwood. How should I refer to you? Psycho Michael that we used to? Or
Either way, I mean, I guess I've kind of become known as Psycho Mike on the air. It's really a misleading name, but
how's that?
You know me on a personal level,
yes.
So you can call me Mike Catherwood. You
okay,
can call
me
you Psycho Mike. Yeah.
Well, maybe we need a Loveline name for you. Like, we'll think of something as it comes along.
No problem.
We'll just say Mike. Because here's the deal. So this feed, a lot of people listen around the country to the podcast. And so Mike is a regular on the morning show here in Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, and where else?
Oh, God, who knows?
Many places, Phoenix
sure.
and stuff.
Let's just throw cities out there.
Yeah, so it's the
Sioux
Kevin,
City.
It's the Kevin and Bean. Really, you're in Iowa?
I don't know.
Kevin and Bean show, which is really a dominant morning show here in Los Angeles on K-Rock, and Mike is an integral piece of that show. Those of you that may have, by the way, there's a K-Rock app now. I got it tonight. Did that just come out this weekend?
Sure.
Seriously?
I don't know.
No, you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. Show me.
Dude. You know how lame I am, and
Listen to me.
I know something more than you.
I am if I'm not at the station working, actually on the air or with the morning show or doing an overnight shift or something.
Yes,
I'm in my apartment sleeping, recharging to do my next shift.
But you must this thing called you don't have one of those things. You have
I got the BlackBerry.
Okay, so look at this little thing down here.
All right,
that's an app. So I push that button. Wow.
Look at that.
And I go on the air with K-Rock. There's all kinds of different different things they do, and different.
Dr. Drew showed me the iPhone app.
There's Weenie Roast broadcasts from the years past, and acoustic Christmases, and news, and Twitters, and history of the station and stuff. It's pretty good. Past shows.
Seems pretty excellent.
Yeah, they should have more. I've got tons of notes, by the way, for this. I got tons of notes, but it's a start, and I just noticed it. Someone Twittered about it. I think it just came out this weekend. So there is a phone. So the bottom line here is for this show, those of you that are not in Los Angeles, you can download the K-Rock, K-R-O-Q app. Just search it on your iPhone at the App Store and download it, and you can hear this show broadcast. I think you stream it live. I don't know whether you can hear any back shows or podcasts. Probably that's going to be coming on a separate Loveline app soon enough. So did you have a good weekend?
Yes and no. I mean, I worked most of the weekend, so there's that. Yeah.
So you got a little workaholism in you. I'm familiar with that.
I think I do, and Lord knows you can sympathize.
Relate. Do as I say, not as I do when it comes. I try to keep my mouth shut about workaholism. If you notice, I shut my pie hole on that one.
There's nothing worse than the guy who goes around the office talking about how tired or overworked he is. So it's true. So you might it's either just do it and keep your mouth shut.
Well, let's talk about this then. Let's talk about how great radio is and what a wonderful medium it is, and what we're going to have to do to save it.
It is. You know what it is, and I'm a guy who appreciates what radio is all about, and I have friends that work in television, and the freedom, the creative control that you get in radio, albeit it's a little bit less than what it used to be, it's still worlds ahead of other forms of media.
Yeah, and the only thing that's more free is the internet.
Right.
But that's so free, it's like untalented. It's like unstructured to the point of being like unlistenable.
And sure, it's diluted when anybody can just put up their podcast.
Yeah. But you guys, when you do a talk-style radio program like what we're doing here tonight and what you do in the morning, it's pretty free.
It is.
It's pretty free because you're allowed to react, allowed to be spontaneous, and there just are no other mediums like that where you can regularly do that. And also, rather than, radio is about filling time rather than saving time. You can just take the time to have a conversation, to think about things. I mean, you got to move things along a certain way, but no other media takes the time to actually think and have conversations and actually touch, communicate.
Right.
There really isn't anything else like that. So.
And I'm not gonna sit here and disparage how late night talk shows do their thing, but you got to realize
radio, you mean, or
television.
Oh,
that's not an interview. It's not people talking. It's not a conversation.
No,
it's two professionals doing a show for people on camera.
And even I was telling somebody else this, I think today, in fact, that there's some very bright people that do those talk shows. Like Conan O'Brien is just a brilliant guy. He's a great guy, and he can really listen and carry a conversation. But I noticed that he and I would get into some heavy stuff once in a while. His job is the funny. So he'd step out of that. He'd always juxtapose the conversation with a joke, because he has to keep the funny, the entertaining going, which is really the challenge to actually have a conversation on shows. Who does talk, though, is
William Shatner.
No, he talks a little bit. No, my buddy with the Scottish accent.
Craig Ferguson.
Craig Ferguson.
Yeah,
has
he's great.
conversation. He is. You know that monologue he does every night? He does that off the top of his head. He's given 3 beats, and the rest he does off the top of his head. Is that crazy?
Yeah, that is.
It's just nutty.
That has to take some getting used to. He's an interesting guy. I mean, and
Recovering guy.
also in recovery.
Yep.
You know, a guy who came from the punk rock world. You know, which
Oh, did he? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
he was like a punk rock musician in Scotland.
No way.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And
That's interesting.
he's a super interesting guy, and I could see how he might have a little different take on the evening night talk show than anybody else. But it's weird. Being in radio is definitely weird, and Lord knows you as a doctor and as a successful radio broadcaster, you get to see it from both as
Many
a
angles.
colleague, and then you
Yeah.
get to see it from a clinical standpoint.
No, that's right.
It's a weird world. A really
Well, Mike, I keep swearing I want to do. There's a movie out there called The Boat That Rocked.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
No.
It's about sort of genuine pirate radios in Britain in the early 60s, mid 60s, where the BBC controlled all the radio waves and they had no rock and roll music, and these boats went off land and pumped music onto the island. And it was, and I swear to God, it was an exact replica of K-Rock in the 80s. And we need to do something about the history of this station, K-Rock, because it is just the things I've seen over the years at that station. I mean, they just can't be replicated in real.
I can
in
imagine.
fiction. I mean, and then having people come to me with that stuff. There were shootouts and AIDS and hepatitis. And here's producer Ann, grab a mic. Look, we're already
Hi.
on the air here. Hey, we have an issue. We're on the internet here. That 500 Days of Summer thing.
Yeah.
The names of the callers are locked in the office. Oh, good. So you got it, Corey. So we're gonna figure out who the. Do I put Ann on here? Can you get her going? Say test, Ann. No, she is on this
Chris.
one here. This one. There, you're on now.
This is what
There
you get for hiring people from K-Rock.
There you go. Anderson's out tonight. Corey's in.
Do you have a favorite call?
Yeah, I do, and I can't. I need help kind of honing it in. There's one that stayed with me, and I can't remember which night it was. And
Okay, we'll look it up. Oh, you don't know at all.
Yeah. Did we keep the info on each call of each night?
Yes.
Okay, let me look at that.
All right.
And I'll be able to figure it out. So, and then we'll all kind of figure it out together.
Well,
won't
we circled the ones that we really liked.
All right.
each night.
Give me that list. I'll remember what
All
they were.
right.
So, all right, that's 500 days.
I'm
of
so
Hi.
Summer.
excited that you're here.
Well, I'm excited to be here, Ann. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna be good times.
It
I
is
think
going to
so.
be good times. But just for the listeners' sake, I've been asking for Mike to come up here. How long? Like a long time. Yeah,
Both of us have been like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be good.
Yeah. And
So
then,
don't disappoint us.
And here's
Well, I won't. No pressure.
so don't
but-
suck. So, but here's the deal. This poor man has to get up at 5 in the morning after all this.
Yeah, but come on, it's worth it in the end.
No. But they need to let you go till 7 a couple of days, because getting up at 5. I've done that gig too. The getting up
Yeah.
at 5 thing. By Friday, you'll be insane.
You know who he
Yeah.
works with, right?
Kevin and Bean.
You think they're gonna be
Clement?
nice and just go, sure, no problem.
They won't
Yeah.
give you an extra 2 hours, a couple of days.
I think they would if I really
you gotta-
sincerely asked them. But plus, they're leaving for New York in a day or two.
Yeah,
to do the
good.
show from there.
All the more reason you're not going to be.
So
on it.
I really don't have to do much.
Give me a go, no
All right,
go
we got to
for
take a
launch.
break. We're going to say farewell and get back on the air in just a minute.
Go. Vital.
We go fly.
Guidance.
Guidance go.
Surgeon.
Go flight.
Ecom.
We're go flight.
GNC.
We're go.
Telmute.
Go.
Control.
Go flight.
Procedures.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
FAO.
We are go.
Network.
Go.
Recovery.
Go.
Capcom.
We're go flight.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
30.
Seconds to go. Give me a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Loveline is meant for an adult audience. Loveline may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
Dr. Drew Pinsky is an addiction medicine specialist.
Dr. Drew Pinsky, host of Loveline.
Drew Pinsky. Dr. Drew Pinsky is Dr. Drew.
Loveline starts now.
This is Loveline.
1-800-LOVE-9. Loveline with Dr. Drew.
Welcome to Loveline. I hope everybody had a nice Labor Day weekend. As we're saying here, the number is 1-800-LOVE-191. The 500 Days of Summer contest will come to a conclusion tonight. We're going to pick the call of last week, and they're going to call them on the air here and give them the $500 they want for being the call of the week. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I want to welcome to the program Mike Catherwood.
Yeah.
Mike,
All right.
Mike is a staple in the morning show here in Los Angeles, and I've, for many years, had an instinct that he would do a nice job on this show. And finally, the powers that be released him so he could stay up till midnight and head out into work at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
No
It's
big
nice
deal.
of them. No big deal.
Whenever I start to feel sorry for myself because I don't get enough sleep or I feel like I'm overworked, I always think about Dr. Drew, and I think, look, if he could pull it off and still manage to hit the gym and still manage to be a family man, look, I could do this.
You know, when I was your age, I could do it. But right now, I feel so incapable of that kind of schedule that I have like empathy for you. I'm like, dude, don't even try it. Don't go there. It's too painful. Yeah, I remember being. This is why I get the gray. I swear to God, I'm convinced that's where the gray hair came from sleep deprivation for like 20 years. Because my hair was your color.
It was?
Yeah, till I was 35. And
when
then
you were a young, passionate man.
When I had some passion left, I had some air in the tires still.
I hear you.
And then I had triplets, and then I had a crazy schedule, and then the hair turned gray, and I lost it all. Lost the will to live. But here you are.
Well,
So
I
thanks for
lost my
joining
will
us.
to live a long time ago from being in radio most of my adult life, but I'm very happy to be here. It truly is an honor, and I thank you guys for letting me in the studio.
Well, it's our pleasure to have you. We are going to go right to calls. Again, the number is 1-800-LOVE-191. Do you, by the way, have a Twitter address? Do you Twitter?
I do. K-Rock Psycho Mike is my...
PSYCHOMIKE?
Uh-huh.
K-Rock Psycho Mike. I'm going to follow you. I'll search for you while we're listening to this call. This is Lindsay, 23. Lindsay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi, how's it going?
We're great. What's happening there?
Well, I just don't really understand. I'm 23 years old. I just can't get aroused. I mean, prior to sex, I have orgasms. I have great orgasms, multiple orgasms, but I just never crave sex.
Maybe it's because you're having sex so frequently with your boyfriend that you never...
No, I mean, maybe like once a week. We live an hour away, and we both live with our parents, so it's not like we really have any opportunity.
23. What do you think, Mike?
Was there ever a time when you were dating this guy where you guys did have a lot of passion and you couldn't get enough of each other?
Yeah, when we first started dating, I mean, we used to have sex multiple times a day, and then over time it's just kind of gradually dwindled. We used to live with each other, so...
Why aren't you living together anymore?
Because we got into a bad roommate situation, and our roommates were alcoholic cokeheads, and I'm trying to get through nursing school, and it just was a bad situation. And
Why didn't you move out together somewhere?
because his family lost their restaurant, and it was just, he'd lost his job because of that, and so we didn't have money to do it.
Are you just so stressed out from school and all these changes, or are you kind of losing the spark for this guy?
I don't know. We broke up, and we broke up for 7 or 8 months.
You know,
and now we're
I
back
got to tell you,
together.
Lindsay, this is a common call we get, which is, well, I love him. I can't live without him. We broke up, got back together, and strangely, my body doesn't react.
Right.
Your body's telling you something. This is kind of a common story. I don't want to say this thing's doomed because that's not my place, but your body's kind of telling you something that maybe this isn't quite. It's almost like almost becoming fraternal. Like a sister or brother thing. You can't imagine living without him, but it really isn't a passionate relationship anymore.
You guys have gone through a lot together, it sounds like. There's been a lot of trauma outside of the relationship, and it would be tough for you to just up and cut him off because you feel like, you've come to rely on this guy. But if the spark's not there, the spark's not there, and you can't deny that,
Huh. Yeah, I guess I've been kind of battling that for a while.
And Lindsay,
but it's just
also,
kind of one of those
I know,
things.
on top of that, you sound depressed. On top of that, he's like, I guess so. Yeah, I get that you've been going through a lot, and of course you would be a little bit depressed by everything that's been happening, but I think at least part of it is that this relationship just at least ain't what it used to be, and you might want to just evaluate that, okay?
All right, so there's nothing that I should try doing differently, perhaps? I mean, maybe it's something hormonally with myself. But
Are you on medication?
I'm on the NuvaRing.
Well, it's
I don't know
possible.
if and I've been on that pretty much ever since it started happening, but
Well,
feel like
maneuvering does do that to some people. There's no doubt it does. But it's strange that you still have orgasmic function and you still get aroused to that point. It's just like you're not into it, which that could be that, listen, hormonal contraceptives can affect any stage of the sexual cycle. It can affect sexual drive, sexual desire, arousal, orgasm, and even the postcoital experience. It can cause pain, all kinds of funny things. So I guess you could say that if indeed you evaluate the relationship, it still feels good to you. Yeah, one thing might be to change the contraceptive that you're using. George, you're 22.
Yes, how you doing today?
We're good. You're on with Mike Catherwood. Let's wait. I'll get his tag.
Okay,
he's KROQ Psycho Mike. What's up?
Yeah.
All right, I got two questions. One, my girlfriend and I, we've been going out for a while. I would say several months, about 6 months, and she lost her virginity to me. Now the problem is when I'm on top of her, we're great. We're having fun. She's orgasming, I'm orgasming. But when we go to switch to a different position, like doggy style, laying on her side, her on top with her back facing me, reverse cowgirl, 10 seconds later after achieving penetration, she feels both pleasure and pain, and then she runs off me, bites down on a pillow really hard or a blanket.
Well, I have many.
I've never witnessed this before with any woman I've ever been with, but this bothers me.
Well, I can understand that it would. And by the way, thank you for taking us through every single possible position you guys might have tried. Cheers to that.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thanks for all that.
Got to be specific.
Yeah, okay.
We took her real quick. We took her to the doctor, and the doctors can't figure out what it is.
Did they have any hint? Did they give even a provisional idea?
She's been telling me, and she's been telling the people, her mom and her doctor, that every time she has a period, it hurts really bad every time.
All right, so it could be endometriosis, it could be ovarian cyst, it could be other infections of the uterus or the cervix. Something maybe not obvious that may need more workup to be diagnosed. It sounds like something like that. It really does.
When you say you took her to the doctor, is like your buddy a chiropractor and he felt her stomach, or did you go to like an OBGYN and really break out the speculum, get down to business?
No. Her mom took her to the doctor. See, I got to work all the time, so I got bills to pay and stuff. So I only get to see her like 4 times a week.
I like the way he took her to the doctor, the way he takes his car in.
Yeah.
He
took her to get a checkup.
Took her in, put her up on the rack. Okay, well, George, listen, there's no doubt that some people women particularly have position preferences, but the fact that it's so painful to the point where she feels a visceral pain and she has to bite a bullet to get through it, that's something that needs to be explained. I wouldn't take no for an answer. There needs to be some sort of, and obviously, how about avoiding those positions? How about that?
Oh, I am.
Yeah, okay, well done.
Pretty much, we agreed that. And the other thing
we agreed.
I bought her a thing of soft bondage gear, real comfortable bondage gear, and when I got her in it, and then, I'll take the mouthpiece out, and then she bites me when we're having fun. Well, it makes me want to bite her, but I'll bite down on her so hard because, I think it's weird, but I'll bite down on her so hard to where I'll draw blood.
You think it's weird?
No. That's totally normal.
It's like, hello?
Yeah, we're listening.
Okay, it's like,
I don't know how to describe
it. It's like I want to just taste her so bad. The way a woman's soft skin feels and smells to a guy, when they're in the mood. But I'm really scared to tell her, hey, I'm about to take a chunk out of your neck,
Hey, George, how about you don't do that? There's a freaking Silence of the Lambs here, for God's sake. George, dude, don't go down that path. Just don't. I don't know what to say.
Cannibalism, is really, really where you draw the line between aggressive sex and danger. Get yourself like a horse bridle or something, and just keep yourself occupied some other way, because biting the girl the 22-year-old virgin.
Get something else to bite on other than her. Ashley, you're 34. How about that for advice?
Hi.
What's up, Ashley?
Love the show.
Thank you.
I just have a quick question. When I was 6, I started masturbating. I was molested. Just recently, I caught my 5-year-old masturbating. Does that necessarily mean that she has been violated in any way?
It doesn't necessarily mean. However, a more common circumstance is when there's a lot of chaos in the home. Young kids, particularly 5 and under, will begin to do that as a way of self-soothing, a primitive way to just sort of feel better.
Okay.
So here's how I'd put it together. you obviously have to watch out. As you know, you're kind of attracted to people that are perpetrators, right?
No. Actually, we have a lot of chaos going on in the home.
I'm sure. Well, hold on. So you have to watch out for the fact that because of all that terror in childhood, you will be kind of attracted to people that have the potential to be perpetrators. You have to be careful with your attractions. Women that have been sexually abused will often inadvertently bring into their homes and their lives men who were just like the perpetrators when they were kids, who oblige them by perpetrating on their kids. So this is a somewhat of a risky situation. I don't get the sense that that's you, but just something worth saying. But what you would do, having been through all that trauma, is create a ton of interpersonal chaos. So that's probably what's going on, and that's probably what your daughter's doing, is trying to soothe herself. All right?
Okay. Yes, makes sense.
All right.
Thank you.
Any chance that actions, Dr. Drew, just accidentally? That's the first time
the kids started
had fun with myself.
Fool themselves? Yeah, it happens. Yeah, oh, sure. But at 5, and by the way, 5 to the point, the frequency where the parents are like, they're doing it out in front of people and stuff, that's when you have to say, that's usually something going on. This is Ash. Oh, tonight, only Ashley's.
All right.
It's for you, Mike. Ashley only. Ashley, you're 21.
A fan.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
We're great. You're on with Mike Catherwood. What's happening?
Okay, I'm 21 years old, and I've been dating this guy for a year and a half now, and he's 23. A year and a half ago is when we first had sex. The first couple of days we started, dating, actually. He can't feel anything. I don't know what it is. He says it's not me. I gave him the whole thing, a few weeks later, after we started having sex, I was like, so what are you into, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, well, to be honest with you, I really can't feel anything. And I'm like, what? He loves having sex. He has, a great sex drive. But for some reason, he can't feel anything. He has some feeling in in the shaft of his penis, but that's pretty much it.
Hold on, Ashley. I want you to. No. Listen. I want you to meet another caller who I think has this problem. Terrence, you're 18. Terrence, does that sound?
Hey guys.
Does that sound familiar to you? And what Ashley's talking? Oh, Ashley, you're leaving us.
Yeah.
She hung up. I wanted her to talk to Terrence. Well, I hope you're listening still. So go ahead. See, hey,
in a way,
Sadie, if you can get Ashley back, it would be good if you have her number or anything, because I wanted her to talk to Terrence. So you have this problem.
In a way, my girlfriend, she's a very, very tight lady. I just lost my virginity to her.
Yeah.
A couple of days back, and we've had it. In 2 days, we've had it 4 or 5 times, and I just can't really come or have orgasm. You know what I mean?
Is it because of a lack of feeling, like Ashley's boyfriend?
Yeah, but I have I don't know. It just doesn't happen. Because some guys will go really fast. I just can't go.
Mike kind of jumped in there quickly on that.
First
one.
off,
yeah, got that.
Don't be careful what you wish for, buddy. Because I remember when I was your age, and sexual encounters were
brief,
measured in 10-second intervals. So just deal with it. First off, secondly, is there any chance that maybe she's too tight? Are you losing circulation downstairs because it's like a tourniquet?
I like the fact that you're actually angry with Terrence for this proclivity.
Oh,
our second time, I kind of had a little looked like a blood clot type thing. It was cutting off circulation, kind of.
But listen,
pygmy.
Terrence, let me ask the same question again. Are you experiencing what Ashley's boyfriend was experiencing, where you actually don't feel anything?
Sometimes I would, sometimes I wouldn't. It's kind of like a 50-50 type thing.
All right. And how about when you masturbate?
I could feel the whole thing when I masturbate.
And how long does it take you then?
Probably a couple minutes.
Couple minutes. Any way you could do some of that before hopping into action with your girlfriend?
I'm afraid I might get soft before then. So
No, not to completion, buddy. Just load your gun before battle.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I like the way Mike says that.
Yeah.
You understand? Like aim the cannon, get in position, put the bullets all.
I get what you mean.
Yes.
And that's really, here's it. It's called delayed ejaculation. I will ask my forgiveness of callers listening to the show regularly. I've got a full complement of people here. With Corey is filling in for Anderson. We got Sadie, who's relatively new here, and now Mike, who's new to the studio, has maybe not heard this story, so I will tell the story.
No problem.
I was, and listeners, of course, heard the story 12,000 times. I was on a Southwest flight, the cattle,
right.
And I was trying to get to the bathroom, and you're bouncing back and forth. That flight into Vegas is always very bumpy and stuff.
Sure,
and I'm walking down the aisle there. And some guy leaps out from the window seat and grabs me as I'm walking by. And he goes, "You've got to talk about this on your show. You never talk about it." And puts a folded up napkin in my hand. I get back to my seat, and it says delayed ejaculation. And guys that have this get very upset about it because there's not a lot that can be done. They have to really kind of work with it with their partners. Very frustrating. And the partners all think it's their fault.
Right.
They all think, I'm not pretty enough. You don't like me. All these, they start scrolling through all kinds of issues that might be responsible for this.
That's a reasonable reaction too from a female, because for the most part, when a guy does last a long time, it means because we're so visually stimulated a lot of the time.
For the most part, here's the deal with most guys: they're there because they want to be there.
Right.
For the most part, and in particular, if they're there more than once, they're continuing to have this problem. They're not coming back if they're not into it. You know what I mean?
That's
right?
Look, hey,
yeah.
That has to be really terrible, and I can understand where a guy would be very upset.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, look at the other side of the spectrum. Things can be a lot worse.
I imagine you grabbing these guys and go, "No, you don't understand. Look from my perspective." This is Rosa. What's up? You're 25.
Hi.
Hey, what's happening?
I'm sort of dating this guy, and he has this fantasy that he wants another guy to ejaculate inside of me, and then he wants to have sex with me afterwards.
Yeah.
Perfectly normal, perfectly natural.
That's perfectly normal?
No.
Okay, thank you. That's what I thought. But he wants to, hide in my closet, and he wants me to do this for him. And he's been bugging me about it, and I've been considering it. And I'm just wondering what could possibly be his problem.
I have a more immediate problem is what could possibly be your problem for contemplating this.
I know.
Come on, Rosa, please.
I agree.
All right, so we're going to put it aside as even a remote possibility. You're not going to do this, right?
No, I'm not going to do it.
All
No,
right,
I'm not. I
So-
say I'm going to, but I couldn't see myself doing that.
No. Mike, got something to say here?
Yeah, that's not good. I was just
That's not good.
Do you think
Well said,
do you
sir.
think
Well
that
played.
this is a product of a guy, and I know a lot of them, who watch so much pornography that deals with so many kind of extreme sexual situations?
He
Yeah.
doesn't
that
watch
they're-
porn, though,
Oh, hell, he
How do you know
doesn't.
that?
because I know he doesn't.
Well, listen, I have a hard time believing, Rosa, that a guy who wants to hide out in a closet
Yeah.
with his pants around his ankles and some Lubriderm while another guy does his business with you doesn't at all watch pornography.
And he wants to have sex with me afterwards.
I know. That guy watches porn, Rosa, a lot of it. I guarantee it.
No, he says he... Okay.
Oh,
all right.
please. I don't care what this guy says.
Go to his computer and go look under the
History.
folder that says tax returns. And it'll be German videos and 2 Girls, 1 Cup. It'll be the most extreme, nasty stuff you can possibly find.
Yeah.
Is there something I could do or say to him to get him to not do this?
Yes. If you don't shut up about this, we're not having sex at all.
I have, and then he stops talking to me.
Then too bad.
And then he will come back around again, and we don't talk about it for a while, and then he keeps bringing it up again, and then we stop talking. It's like...
Does he degrade you?
cycle.
Does he degrade you in other ways?
Like how?
I don't know. Is he disrespectful to you? Is he talk down to you?
Yeah.
All right. This is ultimate degradation.
Yeah.
But to both of you in this case, he likes to degrade you and himself, and that's a horrible, aggressive posture. So why would you want to be with somebody that treats you like that?
Because I like him, and we're
No.
He's really good.
That's unacceptable answer on this show.
I know.
What could
I know,
possibly?
I listen enough, so I should know.
What could possibly motivate you?
I like him.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think what he's saying is that there's something wrong with him in the fact that he would even request that, and the fact that you are willing to even contemplate doing it, and then put up with him talking down to you when you don't agree to do it. You got to really evaluate the situation.
Somewhere
Rosa.
you learned that that's how men treat you. Where did you learn that men treat you in degrading manner?
I don't have daddy issues, if that's what you're getting at.
Well, you got some issues somewhere.
Yeah,
with
I
somebody.
do. I'm a cutter, so
Okay.
I definitely have issues.
All right. So was there some trauma growing up or something?
I can't remember.
People speculate that happened, right?
I speculate that something happened,
Yeah.
but I can't remember what.
Well, at the
happened.
very least, this guy's like a human embodiment of your cutting. He's cutting you emotionally instead of you having actually cut your skin.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's not okay. That's not good. That's just reenacting some horrible something.
I can't remember any trauma from being a kid, though.
Okay, but whatever. I mean, it's something. It's a reenactment of some type of something, and it's not what you call healthy, not what you call joyful, not going to make you happy in the long
run. We're together.
Well, you say that, but the guy, so you admitted that he talks down to you. You've admitted that he actually broke up with you when you weren't willing to fulfill his pretty extreme needs. I don't know how good that can make you feel when you're together.
I'm sure you have okay moments.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sure you have fun moments. I'm sure you do. And I wouldn't take that away from you. But you got to really ask yourself, is it worth it to have those fun moments, to be treated like this and to be degraded and to be disrespected? I mean, there are plenty of fun moments to be had with people who actually appreciate you and love you. This is not love. This is almost a sexual addiction kind of thing. There's a book out there I've been recommending for a while called Don't Call It Love. You might want to check that out. Phone number here is 1-800-LOVE-191. Mike Catherwood in the studio on the Kevin and Bean Show. I was noticing on the Twitter, which is K-Rock Psycho Mike, at K-Rock Psycho Mike, KROQ. A lot of the other affiliates that you're involved with are ringing in that they're happy you're here.
Oh, well, I'm glad to get the synergy going.
Very good. And we'll be back with more Loveline, more Mike, more you after this.
This hour of Loveline is brought to you in part by 500 Days of Summer. Don't miss the hit comedy of the summer, 500 Days of Summer, now playing everywhere.
Dr. Drew has his work cut out for him.
Loveline. Loveline will be right back.
This is Loveline.
Loveline, phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. We're deliberating in here on the Call of the Week. We're going to come up with the call that wins the $500 in homage to the 500 Days of Summer promotion from last week. And in the course of talking about the calls of the week, we brought up the horsey horse call.
Yeah!
And Mike immediately was like, what, horse? Tell me more. I ride horses. And we got into this conversation about this girl that called, and her boyfriend had had sex with a mare. And, of course, Mike brought up Mr. Hand, his favorite video. And I said, yeah, that's what I thought put an end to the horse thing, but apparently not.
Now guys are just the pitcher, though. They're just making sure that they're on the delivering end of the line.
Yeah, they're pitching instead of catching now. And this guy also, like, put on a mane and a horse tail and would pull things. And apparently I've talked to some of these S&M women, these women that run these places, and there's one in Culver City, in fact, nearby here, that has, like, a paddock, and the guys can pull Cinderella's carriage. And I first heard that, I thought... Okay, I just, my head just warped. I can't get my head into it. You ride horses.
I do.
Does that make any sense?
No, they're beautiful animals, and they have a unbelievable instinct, and you can develop a great relationship with them. But I can't really imagine even the slightest erotic feeling.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want to put on a bridle and a bit and pull something necessarily, and a big old plume, a little. What do they call those things?
For comedy, I would. I mean, if you wanted to make your entrance at the Acoustic Christmas as a gladiator, and I could draw you on a chariot, that's one thing. But I don't know if I could do that for boner time.
It'd be weird. It'd be weird. Speaking of weird, Tila Tequila got her ass in a sling this weekend. I guess you hear about that?
Yeah. So Sean Merriman choked her.
Yeah. In fact, I heard Kevin and Bean talking about it. Their first question was, "What's Sean Merriman doing with her?"
Right.
That was the first question. But second thing. Tila's been up on this show a few times, and I could see her being into the rough trade there. And I could also see her being traumatized by it.
Right.
And then accusing him of, see what I'm saying?
Well, it's one thing if you and I, get a little rough with Tila Tequila, who's, by the way, 5 feet in heels, if anything.
Right. And Sean, have you ever stood next to that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been Kevin Bean?
Uh-huh.
He's been on Loveline, too. That man is a man mountain. He's scary to be around. He's not a great guy, by the way.
Exactly.
But his presence. And then he went on to tell me how he would routinely knock guys out in high school football.
Right.
Routinely just blocking and tackling people, guys be unconscious.
It became mundane for him to make people's brains shut off.
Right.
Yeah.
That was what's his nickname? Like Lights Out.
Yep.
Lights Out. And that's where that started apparently in high school.
Well,
he wanted to live up to his name, I guess. And the point being, the thumb and index finger, thumb and pinky could induce asphyxia in the Tila Tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not a big person.
No,
is what I'm trying to say.
Tiny.
Now, he's claiming that he was just trying to prevent her from driving. She was under the influence. And she, I guess, has responded saying that she's allergic to alcohol and never drinks. Did she ever comment on being allergic to alcohol and not partying when she was in here on Loveline?
Anybody remember that? I don't remember anything like that. Definitely got the trauma feeling from her, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about the substance part. I didn't get into that conversation, but definitely got that trauma feel about her. I mean, the whole thing. Look at her shows and stuff with all the crazy.
It's a weird sense of narcissism, and I don't know after reading your book if I'm using that word properly. But
you're using it. That's good. That's for her. It's good.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's a terrible situation. Either no one wants to see a small woman get tossed around by a giant.
Yeah. But I think. Ashley, you called us back. Ashley was the 21-year-old whose boyfriend couldn't feel anything.
Yes. I'm very, very I need to get this answered.
Well, did you hear Terrence, who I was going to put you on the phone with?
I did, but it doesn't sound like his situation because my boyfriend can comment all of that, and he says he has some feeling, but it's not. I don't know. It's just so confusing. I feel like I looked up on the internet, I read everywhere I could, and the only answer I got was that maybe he could have been cut too deep.
Well, Ashley,
cut too deep by what? By his circumcision?
Yes.
No. There can be tumors in the spine that can do this. There can be severe childhood traumas that can do this.
Is Ashley maybe just have a giant vagina? And there's no friction because she's so mad. It's like the cavernous.
She takes issue with that. She takes umbrage.
I'm just checking. I don't know you, Ashley. I thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, I mean, I was going to say that anyway. That I'm very tight. So
fantastic.
And sometimes, how would she know that? By the way, but I don't want to know. And sometimes when women lubricate excessively, guys will complain that they don't feel something. Excessive lubrication.
No, we all we use is spit, really.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. I'm glad you're staying organic.
He was adopted. Maybe I should throw that in there.
At what age?
Well, I mean, birth, pretty much. I think he said he was adopted at 6 months. I don't know if that could have an effect to it.
Does he always have a problem with this?
Yes. He told me, this is really weird. Oh, my God, I can't really have to say this. He can only get off to anime porn.
Oh, yeah, so he's got something going on.
Yeah.
So
I love him to death. He's seriously like my other half, but this is just the one department where I'm really feisty, and so is he. But it's just in my head that if I know my boyfriend can't get off like I can, it just takes the fun out of it for me.
Sure.
So.
Well, Mike had a philosophy that he imparted on Terrence, which was to load the gun before entering battle.
I mean, that's a little off that he can only get off the anime porn. But look, maybe he should check out a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh videos right before he gets in bed with you and get himself really, riled up, and then that way maybe he can. Or have you thought about getting some bonkers anime tattoos that he could look at on your back or something that he could,
or any technology? Does he get any kind of vibrating or anything, or some other sort of enhancing devices that might help him?
I told him that, you know what, I love you that much. I will go the long way, and I will go dress up like an anime girl for you.
Fantastic.
I don't really care. But I mean, it's just he doesn't feel it. It takes him a while to get off too. That's fine. I enjoy that. I'm not complaining.
Well, he's obviously feeling something if he's able to do that.
A little bit. Whenever I'm giving him head or whatever, he says he can only feel it at the very, very tip of his penis, and I'm like, damn it. So I mean, I don't know. I feel really bummed out.
We're both looking at each other going, well, just focus your attention there.
I mean, it seems like you're happy. Otherwise, I feel bad that you don't. I can understand where you're coming from when you know that he's not necessarily into it or is not going to achieve. But he
orgasm. Is into it. He does have orgasms. It takes him a while, but he's fine. I don't quite understand. Is it just that he's sort of thrown down a gauntlet by not being sensitive enough for you? That he's
not sensitive enough.
Yeah, but I mean, so what?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I just feel like he should be able to experience what I'm experiencing, and he's not. He's like I kind of feel coming. He's like it's just a small little tingle, and that's it. He's like, I just know when I'm going to come and when to pull out. He's like, other than that, that's all I feel. I'm just like.
First of all, are you using pull out as a way to do contraceptive?
I don't really. I'm supposed I'm such a worry. I'm on birth controls. Yeah, but
and he pulls out also.
Yeah. I'm 21, and there is that 1 little % possibility that I could get pregnant, and I have a great career, so I don't want to ruin that right now.
What do you do?
I work in radio, actually.
Plus, it can
Let
be.
us turn you back from that.
It can be rewarding for a man to see the fruits of his labor. I understand where he's coming from.
I think there's less of a problem than you think there is.
I got to agree.
Yeah. Does he feel like there's a problem?
No, not really. I mean, he requires that we have to have sex 3 times a day, like at the minimum.
And he orgasms every time?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just me. I'm just really.
Hey, Ashley, I'm surprised he has a penis left after all that activity. I mean, once you lay back to once a day, and magically he'll feel a lot of things.
I mean, most couples, 3 times a week, I would say is pretty healthy. Two
3
times a day.
1.5, 2 times a week is normal. 3 times a day is way off the chart, and very few guys can actually maintain that biologically. So the fact that he can even keep that up is extraordinary. And of course, he's not feeling anything. He's sexually compulsive.
Yeah,
he's drained. I'm surprised his soul doesn't come out of him. No, I'm not kidding.
We both have really high sex.
Yeah, but Ashley, I'm telling you something. You back him off to once a day, and magically all his feeling will come back. Even once every couple days, and magically there'll be lots of feeling.
I agree.
I thought that it was the whole thing that, like, if you don't use it, you lose it.
No, Ashley, yeah, if he doesn't have sex more than once a month, he can have a real drop-off in his sexual desire. But 3 times a day is excessive.
I just guess losing his virginity at like 22 was just too far. I don't know.
And believe me, he's been masturbating at that pace for quite some time.
And that might have a lot to do with it too. Is that he waited so long to finally get some, and then look, if you go 22 years without having a really good donut, and then all of a sudden you just get a conveyor belt of donuts, and you can just shove them down your mouth at your will, you're going to do so. But trust me, if you take a couple days from leaving the donut factory, you're going to come back. Those donuts are going to taste so much better.
Yes. You got it? You understand that? Listening to Mike?
I got it.
Okay. There's the problem is not that he's not into you. Trust that for sure we have ruled out.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Ashley, for God's sakes, 3 times a day. He's not doing that because he's not into you.
I can't help it.
He's doing it until he has no fluids left. And he's whittled down his neurological responsiveness to the point where he actually he's desensitized himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Hang back a little bit, all right? Hang back, all right?
All right, thanks, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Love you, baby.
Ooh. Mark, 34.
Hey, Dr. Drew, how are you doing?
I'm good, Mark. Yeah, I'm with Mike. What's up?
My girlfriend was diagnosed with HSV-1, the genitalia.
Mm-hmm.
And my question is, how is it spread? Like, they say it's not quite as infectious, and there's a thing called shedding. That is anywhere from 3 to 10% because it's HSV-1 in the genitalia.
Slow down, Mark. Don't make these big distinctions with HSV-1. We're talking about herpes virus. Herpes 1 is more common in the genitalia than herpes 2. So when people say herpes, they're usually talking about 1. So take that out of your head that somehow there's some special case. No, this is what most people have. Number 1. Number 2, viral shedding occurs in unpredictable times. But it occurs whether there's symptoms or not. It always occurs when there's symptoms, and people can be contagious at any time. Now, you want to reduce that risk by getting on something like Valtrex. You might be able to significantly reduce that risk, particularly if you use a condom.
Well, we've been using condoms ever since, and I've tested negative. So,
how was she diagnosed with this?
She had an outbreak, and she went to her, I guess, her OBGYN.
How did she get it?
She assumes from a previous boyfriend.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was a swarthy dude.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But
may have come from the mouth. All right, so make sure if she really wants to reduce your risk, it's take the Valtrex also, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. Interesting question here from Dexter, 19. Dexter, hey, what's up? You're on with Mike Catherwood from Kevin and Bean Show.
Hey.
Hi. I actually had a buddy call in a few months ago. This girl who had 2 clitorises, apparently. I don't know if you remember her or not.
Not.
I was wondering if that's actually possible or not, or whether it's just like another area that's really sensitive.
Say that again. It's what?
She apparently had 2 clitorises, and I was wondering if that's possible, or whether, my friend is just kind of imagining that, or whether it's actually possible or not, because we never did really get a good answer.
It's because I've never heard of it. Your friend seemed like a screwball, What do you
It
think,
can
Mike?
happen, right?
You can have 2 cervixes. You can have 2 uteri. You can have 2 vaginas.
I was going to say, Ralph Garman, who works with me on the Kevin and Bean Show, genius guy, love him. He told us a story about how he
By
used
the way,
to date a girl.
he's PO'd that you're here and he's not.
No, he's,
Yes, he is.
he's very happy that he's in bed right now.
I know that, but he was like, Mike gets to come. When do I ever get to come?
I think he's just saying that to make me feel bad. But he used to talk about how he dated a girl who had 2 fully functioning vaginas.
Yes, there is such a thing. But that girl does not have 2 clitori.
Huh.
So I've never heard of that.
Look, people have 11 fingers. Why can't she just be a mutant with 2 clitorises?
With some weird, because it's a midline structure, and it's hard to get 2 of a midline structure like that. But I mean, I never heard of it, but I suppose it's possible. But it didn't. The way the guy described it, that particular call, it didn't really sound like it. Ashley, another Ashley, 20. Only Ashley's tonight.
You gotta be
What's
kidding
up?
me.
Yeah, swear to God.
Hello.
What's up?
Hi, Dr. Drew?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I have a question. Okay. I have had, 2 serious boyfriends, and I'm with my 3rd right now, and we've been together for about 8 months, and he, okay, this is embarrassing. He has kind of a small, penis.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's pretty
There's
small.
nothing wrong. Leave the guy alone.
Evidently, according to Mike, there's nothing wrong with a small penis and a penis that goes off quickly.
No, I know. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, go ahead.
No, but I mean, really small. But, nothing's wrong with it, and, I adore him, and we've been together for a while now, but I don't know what to do because it's just, it's not, I don't enjoy, having sex with him, and, I we've kind of sort of talked about it, but, I don't know what to do because it's obviously making our relationship kind of, rocky, because obviously sex is a huge part of it.
You've brought this up to him?
No, not that it's, small, but just, he's asked, in the past, why I don't want to, have sex a lot, and because, I've told, when we first started dating,
You're avoiding it.
I'm sorry?
How small are we talking about?
Yeah. And I mean fully aroused. How small are we talking about?
Pinky?
Well, I've never measured it, but I mean, it's pretty small.
Pinky?
It's pretty small. And my ex-boyfriend was, huge.
But don't ever say that to him.
Right.
No,
Pinky,
no, I would
index.
never.
Come on. Pinky, index finger.
Probably, a little bit longer than my index finger. I don't know.
Same girth, basically, as index finger.
Now, listen, Drew, I have a question. She said the boyfriend before that was really big. Is it possible that he augured out a giant cave that now cannot be compared to? Because
And it's not because of me, believe me.
no, I know. I'm not trying to point fingers at you, Ashley. I'm being serious here. What happens when a girl?
It's not that he augured out, but he may have created a preference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I think it is, and I don't know what to do because literally he wants to have sex all of the time, and it's just
Here's the deal. People have all kinds of reasons for preferring partners, and I don't think you have to apologize for having a preference. And I know for sure there are plenty of women out there that don't care about the penis size at all. You'd be surprised.
Right.
In fact, there are a lot of women that like the smaller penis. It's more comfortable for them and things. That's not you. And you might as well be honest about that. It's
Well,
kind of...
that's what am I sound like a shallow, I'm breaking up with you because of this.
No, it's not shallow. I mean, there are plenty of reasons.
It's pretty messed up.
It's messed up.
I don't know if I'd be fully honest with why you're doing it.
No.
And I certainly, like Drew said, would not mention that, you're just not holding up to my last guy because he was,
No.
he was a
I'm not
well-tanned Tommy Lee.
Oh my God, I'd never say that.
But let's put it this way. Let's flip it around. Let's say he was too big and it hurt every time you had sex and you just couldn't have sex. Would that be messed up if you broke up for that?
No, because then it would be causing me physical pain and it'd be uncomfortable.
I understand, but it's the same issue. It's the same.
This doesn't cause me pain. It's just boring.
It's another reason why you don't prefer him as a sexual partner, and it's nothing against you. It's nothing against him. It just doesn't seem to work out.
I'm just giving you that option, Ash. I don't want you. You're requiring yourself to hang in, even though there's something real here that's not working for you. So fine, all right. So you're gonna. The relationship is more meaningful to you than that, and that's good. So then you have to find other means like oral sex or vibrators or.
Yeah, maybe he sucks at that. So
Oh, this guy's a keeper.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I mean, but at least that can be taught, right?
Well, I mean, kind of. But at the same time, it almost gets to the point where I'm so frustrated. Midway, I'm just I just want to be okay, I'm over it. But I don't, obviously, because I've talked to I've had friends like this in the past that have had one hookup that's been like that.
Yeah.
But this is over and over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean, Ashley, there are plenty of reasons that people don't sync up, and this is one of them. I don't think you have to apologize for that. It's what they call chemistry.
Right.
Yeah.
And that chemistry is really important in a long-term relationship. I'm telling you, it is.
And by this point, you've already created that mind frame when you guys are going into sexual activity where you're already expecting it to be not what you want. You're already expecting oral sex to not work out, and he's got the champagne cork downstairs.
If you stay in with this relationship, imagine 15 years from now, you're still avoiding and sort of put off by and miserable with this, and he's still into it. I mean, what a horrible thing for him.
Yeah.
You're doing him a favor by not putting him through that.
And I have like a couple like shady friends that have been like, "Oh, we'll just like go elsewhere." I'm like, I could never do that. I could never cheat on him. But,
No, oh my God. See, see, that's the effed up part here now.
Yeah, no,
Now you're not being honest about what's really not working in the chemistry of this relationship. I mean, it's just people have to fit together. I mean, literally and figuratively, emotionally and physically. There has to be a fittedness of some type. And yes, it's superficial on one level. I'll grant you that. But boy, it's permeating a lot of this relationship, and it's an important part that long term, if you can't work it out, which you're gonna have to really make it a discipline. Figuring something out that works for you and is satisfying for you, you got to be honest with yourself about this, because you will end up cheating, you will end up miserable, you will end up in a bad place with this guy.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Good luck. Bye-bye. Let's talk to Johnny, who's 18. Johnny.
Hello.
Hey, Johnny, what's happening?
Hey.
18.
About a year ago, one of my friends broke his leg and didn't end up using all the painkillers he had, so gave them to me. And I was taking tramadol for a good while. And then I had a tonsillectomy. And instead of using the painkillers as I was supposed to, I saved them. And then...
All right, so you're addicted to painkillers. What's up?
I just want to know, I mean, do I have a disposition to this? Like,
yes.
How do I stop?
Yes, you got to get treatment. There's no options here. You're going to end up like my friend AM if you're not careful.
Okay.
Right.
So should I go see a psychiatrist? Or?
You've got to see somebody who you're in North Carolina. There's a great place outside Atlanta called the Talbot Center. It does a good job with this kind of thing. You might call them and see if they have referrals in your area if you can't get to the Talbot Center. It's something that requires a lot of treatment. I know you didn't plan on this, but once you've thrown the switch on this condition, you have to dedicate many months to managing it and dealing with it, because it is fatal. If Michael Jackson and DJ AM have not taught people this, I'm telling you, if they have not learned that, they will have died in vain, and I don't think they have. So, we don't want more data. This thing with AM just rocked a lot of us, and we don't want to lose more people. Let that be a lesson to everybody.
Yeah, you brought up DJ AM dying in vain, and I'll be the first to let you know that he didn't. I've been in recovery now over 7 years. I've been clean and sober, and it rocked me to my core, and it forced me to really reevaluate my recovery, my sobriety, because a lot of people don't know AM wasn't just a guy who was sober. He was a guy who really represented everything that the program was about. Yeah. And I thought to myself, if this can happen to him, I really can't get complacent with how I take my 12 steps and how I do, with my recovery. And if anything positive has come out of this tragedy, it's that I'm sure there's other people out there that are like me. Yeah, I've really had to rethink things, and you can't get confident. You can't
listen to the some advice I heard at the memorial for AM, which was listen to the old timers.
Yeah,
they will tell you one pill leads to another, because they've seen it, and seen it. Their friends have died over the years. The ones that have stayed sober, don't go there. And man, if you have addiction, do not take medication that can be addictive unless there is a profoundly important reason. And if you take them, understand your disease will be fully awakened, your thinking will be disturbed, your personality will change, and you have to prepare for that by bringing a layers and layers of people around you who understand what's going to happen to you and what has to be done to bring you back. It cannot be done just, hey, we'll just monitor the medication, make sure you don't abuse them. This is not about that. AM never abused medication. He was using them properly, and it turned on his disease.
And don't underestimate how aggressively the disease comes back at you.
It's crazy.
Regardless of how long you've been clean.
It's crazy.
I mean, it really is beyond it's beyond explanation how powerfully and how aggressively it just comes back and totally consumes your
You
whole
want to tell
life.
that quick story about that guy you knew? Or
My first...
Just you knew a guy.
I knew a guy. Who had close to 30 years sober.
Yep.
And after his relapse of 30 years... Within 3 weeks, his house was up for sale. His phone was disconnected. No one had talked to him. No one talked to him since. His life, he completely fell off the face of the earth.
He probably died.
He probably did.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but most likely he did. He was a guy who, and he had everything going for him. Good family. He was successful career-wise, and it within a span of less than a month, 30 years sober, down the drain.
Cannot get complacent. Psycho Mike in here. K-Rock Psycho Mike is your handle on Twitter?
At K-Rock Psycho Mike.
At K-Rock Psycho Mike. Twitter him. Tell him how much you like him tonight on Loveline. He's going to be here all week with us. He's from the Kevin and Bean Show, which some of you some of our affiliates have around the country, of course, here in Los Angeles. Our phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. We're going to come up with the call of the week, hopefully in the next break. We're arguing about which one we think it ought to be. So hopefully we'll be giving away that $500 after the break. In the meantime, we'll come back with more Mike, more me, more calls after this.
Dr. Drew Pinsky. You got it on Loveline.
1-800-LOVE-191.
Loveline is coming back. Loveline.
Welcome back to Loveline. Our phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. In the studio with me is Psycho Mike. You can Twitter him at K-Rock Psycho Mike. And we're going to revisit a call from last week, and I'm going to give Mike a chance to chomp down a little bit on old Nicole. I think you're 21, Nicole. Is that right?
That's my middle name. My first name's actually Brienne.
All right. Well, Brienne, Nicole, you're on with Mike, and he's got a couple questions for you, and then I've got something to tell you.
All right, go for it.
Brienne, why don't you talk to us a little bit about what you called Loveline about a couple nights ago? I guess you had a certain dream?
No, it wasn't a dream. I was listening in, and Jesse Metcalf and Dr. Drew, I have like the biggest crushes on both of them.
Yeah.
And I got a little too worked up listening in, and I scratched the inside of my vagina.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, not so fantastic. So I was scared because I saw on TV once somebody did that, and they had a heart attack, and I was scared that I was...
So you were so worked up back at home listening to the Loveline with Dr. Drew and Jesse Metcalf that you violently masturbated, essentially.
Yes, sir.
That's so rad. Well, look, I understand. Drew's a man, of course, of great, great passion. There's still female bodies torn in half all over Pasadena from when he was a young man in high school. Just carcasses ripped, shredded right in half because he's a man who puts so much effort into his lovemaking, and he's handsome and muscular. I understand where you're at. So, Doctor's going to take over here and let you know that
Mike has sort of eroded himself a couple times, I guess. Supposedly.
Yeah, I mean the entire epidermal layer of my penis is gone from me being at home listening to Dr. Drew. And
but be that as it may,
after myself.
Brianna, I want you to know that we had this contest last week. It was the 500 Days of Summer contest where we picked the call of the night every night.
Right.
And you were the call of the night that night.
Right.
And then you became the call of the week. And so as the call of the week, you win $500. How about that? I swear to God.
Shut up. Oh, my God. You have no idea. I'm, like, about to cry right now. You have no idea how bad we need this. Like, I need this right now.
Sure.
I've been unemployed. My stepfather is on dialysis. He has stage 4 liver cancer. Like, oh, my God.
Well, I'm glad we selected somebody deserving and needing. Yeah. I'm really happy now.
Oh my God!
Mike was busy making fun of you, and now I'm.
Well, I'm not making fun of you. I can understand. I've done the same thing. I've listened to Dr. Drew's,
and
soothing voice.
And we're just saying. But Brianna, yes, you get $500 in honor of in homage to the 500 Days of Summer campaign we had last week. So I'm glad we selected you, and thank you for calling, and thank you for being such a good sport.
Congratulations!
And you survived, right? You made it through without a heart attack, as you said, right?
As long as I don't have a heart attack right now, yeah, I'm alive.
No, this is more likely to give you a heart attack than that little laceration. So, all right, my dear, use the
A little bit right now, but
Take $2 out of that 500. Get yourself some 10W30 to prevent the vaginal lacerations in the future. Because I understand. Like I said, he invokes great passion in the females.
well, I think I'm going to survive keeping my car, not having Operation Repo in front of my house. So I appreciate it.
All right, my dear, you take care of yourself and use it wisely. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being a part of this. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
So, Sadie, you take her, and Ann, you got her. I think we picked the right call. Well done. Well done, you guys. Good contest. And we'll go back to the calls at 1-800-LOVE-191. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk to Taylor, who's 19. Taylor.
Hey.
Hey, Taylor, you're on with Psycho Mike.
What's up?
What's happening, dude?
Okay, so, I don't know. I always thought that I had a lot of stamina, but I've been with enough people to realize that I can't get off, and it's not them, it's me, really.
So this is the common theme of the night, delayed ejaculation. Happens to all types. Doesn't discriminate by sexual orientation.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand because, like, I haven't been with a lot of people, but I've been with enough to know that it's not them. It's like I can get myself off just fine.
Do you think maybe you're just a little nervous?
Oh, no, I'm never nervous.
Well,
ever.
You know, people that do treatment of sexual disorders do find that there are psychological reasons for this sort of thing. I mean, at the very least, you've got to switch between sympathetic and parasympathetic. Your autonomic nervous system has to be able to shift in order for an orgasm to occur from parasympathetic to sympathetic and back. And it's something that can be inhibited by emotional states that are not obvious to you. Anxiety being one of them, as Mike brings up. Sometimes this is just biological, mechanical, like we've talked about earlier. There were some size issues, and there can be trauma issues, and there can be medical issues and medication and whatnot. But it ultimately ends up being something you kind of just have to work on with a partner, you know?
Yeah, well, I'm like a serial monogamist, so like I try and be devoted to like one person, then just stuff goes to hell.
Why?
And like I
what
go
happens?
on to somebody else. It's not really that. It's just like I've never been able to with anybody.
Why does stuff go to hell?
Well, it's just like, I don't know, either they all get really clingy because I guess I'm good, but they think that they're not. And I tell them I'm completely satisfied with just getting them off, but they don't believe me, and then they get all bitchy with how, like, I'm getting them off in, like, less than 10 minutes, and then they freak out. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. I'm really laid back. It's not anxiety or anything like that at all. I'm not on any medication. I don't have any, like, emotional trauma. I don't know what it is.
Well, as I said, Taylor, more often than not, people don't get into intensive therapies and figure this stuff out. They kind of just have to work it out with a partner. And I know why your relationships are falling apart. I suspect it's more than just this issue, number one. But number two, it's something you have to kind of get up front and communicate with and work with. And Mike pointed out the number one sort of means whereby guys deal with this problem, which is to kind of, what'd you call it? Load the chamber.
Load the gun before you go to war.
Load the gun before you go to war. Load the tank up and get yourself close by what other means you have or have been effective for you, and then incorporate that with your partner and get your partner sort of, you know, at least half of the equation here is how your partners treat you and react to this stuff. And you're talking about these guys getting all upset and bitchy, as you say. That's not going to make it easier for you to function. You got to have the full calm participation of your partner in order, or that does raise anxiety and it does raise defensiveness, and you need their support to make that work. Ryan, you're 19.
Hi.
Hey, Ryan, you're out with Mike. What's up?
Hey, dude.
Hey, first-time caller. Really enjoy your guys' show. I've had a girlfriend for about, I don't know, I guess, coming up on a year now. She has this thing where she can only, she wants me to,
yes,
basically put her in diapers.
Yeah.
And it kind of freaks me out. And, I mean, I guess on the surface, you know, it seems pretty harmless. But it's almost to the point where she doesn't get excited, doesn't get off, like, with normal sex, I guess. And unless I kind of give into that. And, I've tried it a couple times. It doesn't, I guess it's pretty much harmless for me. But
so hang on a second. So you've actually gotten the Depends out and strapped her in, right?
Yeah, she kind of got it.
She pulled the diapers out and did her thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And does she need to soil said diapers?
Not in front of me. I think that would be a little too much for me. I don't know if she does.
Now, are we talking the convalescent home old folk diaper, or are we going with like the Huggies with the Care Bears designs on the outside?
Small enough for that, yeah.
Yeah, see, it's a whole. I knew it. This isn't a girl who's got the fecal thing. I think she's got some weird adolescent fetish.
So she has to wear the little pull-ups?
Yeah.
She's small enough to fit into that?
She's small. She's a small girl. We're really skinny. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. She kind of told me how it happened, I guess. She basically told me when she was like 5, she was at her baby there, and she just, for some reason, was just fascinated with it and just tried one on, and ever since, I guess.
Wait, what? Tell me what was going down at that moment? She was at a babysitter's house?
Yeah, she was like 5, I guess, and she just, for some reason, just felt intrigued by it, I guess.
God, there must have been a lot more going on in her life than just sitting around a babysitter's house. I mean, there must have been all kinds of hell.
There's no sorts of. She's never been any sort of traumatized, I guess. She's told me, she has a great home. I've met her parents. They're really normal people.
What was she doing at the babysitters all the time? Was there a lot of time when she was left there?
She was being babysat.
But it wasn't like she was left there did both parents work and left her there for long periods of time?
And just during the day, before and after school, till her parents got home.
Yeah, so this may be related to the abandonment, and maybe some sort of regressive trauma from that. Who knows?
I mean, part of my worry is, it wouldn't have any sort of like pedophilia.
No. It doesn't tend to go there. I mean, Ryan, you're pretty attached to your bong. Let's face it. And nothing.
Huh? What?
And it means something, and it certainly is about sort of a regressive fantasy that she has. Maybe it's not going to go anywhere. There's more here than meets the eye with her, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
But
part of the thing is, sorry to interrupt, part of the thing is, for me anyways, it's not that big of a deal, but the biggest thing that worries me, I guess, is that she can't really have normal sex. We have a couple times, and she's just not excited, not into it at all, and that, kills it for me.
And what does she want to do?
That is what she wants to do.
She just
not
wants
really excited otherwise. She wants me to almost baby her in a way.
Yeah, this is one of these.
Kind of gets into that, almost wants a daddy, I guess, and it freaks me out.
Yeah, it is not a normal thing, right? It's a regressive fantasy, and it's some part of her that is walled off for some reason, and it's attached to her sexual arousal and trauma. Something happened. Let's face it, something went down. Now, maybe it was abandonment.
It says it's a comforting thing.
Yeah, I understand, but if it's one thing to be comforted, it's another to be fully regressed into that state of behaving as though you were that baby. You're the one that's comforting her. She's the one that's taken on the persona of an infant. That's not normal. That's a fractured piece of herself walled off, and there's other parts of herself tied up there, and that's got to come out in her relationships. That's got to come out in her emotional life, and that's something. At least maybe you want to refer her for some help, some treatment. I'm just saying it's not a horrible thing, and there's nothing wrong with it with a capital W. But as you see, it's getting in the way of having a close relationship. It's getting in the way of actually being sexual together, and it's splintering her inside emotionally. And of course, Brian he sees that and he reaches for another.
You can sure hear dank in people's voice, can't you? It's
it's pretty obvious, right? It's not subtle. Jennifer, 22.
Hey guys, I have reoccurring bacterial vaginosis.
Good times.
Everything I find on the internet says it's a big mystery, and I didn't know if there anything I can do to prevent it or get rid of it, or.
How many times you had it?
Since January, I been to the doctor 4 times, but I really don't feel like it's gone away.
Yeah, and you treat it with creams or oral antibiotics or what?
Oral.
Okay, the creams work too. You might try the Metrogel cream, something like that.
I've never really been offered that. Like, it's just, I've just been handed a prescription.
All right, you might try the creams. And those you can use sort of more regularly and more routinely, and maybe not be troubled so much by having to go on and off oral antibiotics. Number one.
Is there a way to prevent it? Like, it sucks. Like,
maybe.
if I do something wrong, I mean.
Well, a lot of that sometimes is colon bacteria.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you guys are engaging in that behavior so much.
No, I'm not. It says, like, a lot of sex partners. I have one boyfriend, the same boyfriend this entire time this is happening.
But has he ventured into other
domains?
Has his boat landed in other ports on your body?
No,
Or somebody else's.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to answer that.
But you don't even have to go there. Although we did with you, think about other ways that bacteria could kind of be dragged over there, as it were. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to be careful about keeping things really clean there, and because that may be a route whereby it comes across. Antibacterial soaps can be helpful, perhaps. It's just something to be aware of. All right, and it's something that more often than not kind of stays around for a while. People treat, and then finally kind of goes away. And he's got to be treated too, right?
No, what does he have to do?
Well, sometimes the guys harbor some of this bacteria, and you may want to. I mean, you may want to, if it keeps coming back, you may want to try a course of antibiotic with him. It's kind of not.
Would they be able to use the same creams?
Well, no. Here's the problem. I mean, sometimes it's a protozoan. It's called trichomoniasis, and sometimes they miss that, and sometimes it's Gardnerella. And the question is, can Gardnerella or now it's called Moraxella, can it be passed back and forth? Maybe. I would say start with the creams. All right.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye. Let's see. This is. We're going to stay with the same sort of vein here. Brinky 19.
Hi.
Somehow Brinky sounds like the diaper wearing girl. What's up, Brinky?
Well, thanks for taking my call.
Our pleasure.
So I have a problem. About 3 years ago, I got it seemed like a UTI, and I went to the doctor to get it checked out, and they couldn't find a UTI. They couldn't find any bacterial infection, and they basically just said, sorry. But
what made you think you had a UTI?
Well, I have the symptoms were basically I had to pee every 5 minutes.
Okay. Was it a sense of urgency that made you have to urinate every 5 minutes, or was it just urgency? You had and did it hurt when you urinated?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had urgency and pain with urination.
Damn.
Got it.
There was a little bit of blood.
Oh, good times.
And did you see a gynecologist?
No, just a general.
Did they do a pelvic exam on you?
I don't think so. I think they just did blood and urine tests.
All right. So, I think you might want to go that route because those are also symptoms of a sexually transmitted disease. And you may not see, I mean, certainly that's not a urinary tract infection. It may not show up on any of the tests that you would typically do for urine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've been tested before, multiple times after, and I've been with my boyfriend for 3 years, and we have both only had sex with each other.
So, hang on. When did you first see the doctor?
3 years ago. That's when it first happened, and right now I'm having it again.
You've had it intermittently. Okay. Just irritation to your urethra will do this. I mean, just is he, here we go back, this has been the theme of the night. Is he large?
Yeah.
Okay.
Attaboy.
That's all it takes. All you have to do is traumatize the urethra, and you can have urgency and pain, all kinds of stuff. And so you might want to see a urologist instead of a gynecologist or a general doctor. There may not be anything they can do. Maybe just there's something called Peridium you can take that kind of anesthetizes that area that might take care of it. But it's something. It's just the actual pressure on the urethra that causes, and the trauma to it. You're actually damaging the tissue, but you're not causing an infection.
Okay.
How about giving your boyfriend a round of applause too? He's doing damage. Is he a muscular fellow, Brinky?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of fast twitch down in the pelvis area. He's got those lower abs. He's really driving it home. Sending a message. You should be happy, Brinky.
Sending a message? What's the message?
The message is that he came to party.
Who's in charge?
He's in charge. That's right.
So yeah, Brinky, your urologist might be able to help and might not. And again, there's medicine called Peridium. You've been on that thing that makes you pee orange.
No.
You've never not been on that through all these years of discomfort. Yeah, I mean, each time you get it, of course, you should probably be checked for a urine infection because you can't be sure it's not. Because also that trauma can push bacteria up and cause an infection, but just having the trauma to the tissue can be enough to cause burning and frequency and urgency. Okay?
All right.
Sorry, there may not be any solution to it. It may just be one of them things.
Okay, well, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Let's talk to Amanda, 20.
Yeah.
What's up?
I have two things. The first one is after like a really, really intense orgasm, I have trouble breathing and like my sides hurt really bad.
Nice. There's another Mike.
Yeah, had a girl.
Well,
you got some young stud down in Arizona really putting in work.
no, it's actually masturbation.
Oh. Are you just with the fingies? Are you just using the hands, or you got like some?
The hands.
You got a commercial grade Sybian?
Mental ones, yeah.
All right. Is this common, Drew? Like a really good orgasm, you get the rapid, shallow breathing.
You can, I imagine, get. Are you sort of bearing down real hard and?
Not really. No, it's just like for a few days it hurts like hell, like my sides and my ribs and my lungs.
Days?
Yeah, first it's like catching the breath, and then after like a while, I could breathe, but it hurts like hell, really, really bad.
It's got to be some sort of muscular spasm of the rib musculature. It just has to be.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't really anything else it could be.
Okay, do I need to get that checked out?
Yeah, just to be sure, of course. I mean, maybe there can be weird anomalies, weird cardiac problems and things. You want to be sure it's not that. Is that the only question?
And the other one is like throughout the day. I mean, I could be not even when I'm masturbating, just like walk around at work, whatever. I tend to leak a lot of vaginal fluid.
So you have a lot of discharge. Does it get worse at certain times during the month?
Kind of. Well, it's like intermittent, but it's like a freaking flood down there. It's a lot of fluid.
Are you on birth control?
Nope.
That's just some people have that. That some women are more prone to that than others. Some have to wear pads all the time.
Okay.
Does that occur when you're having sex too?
I'm actually a virgin.
Oh, okay.
But no, I mean just like, there's when I masturbate, sometimes
Well, I just wanted because a lot of young girls they get embarrassed by that, and I just
by the discharge,
or it being a lot of fluid downstairs.
Oh, when they're with somebody.
Yeah, and I just want to let you know that don't be embarrassed because most guys are way into it. They'll throw a shower cap on and bear in even harder.
So during the day I may want to soak it up with something.
Wonder Bread.
A pad.
This is gonna be.
Yeah, a biscuit.
So yay. Okay.
Hardtack. All right, Amanda, thanks for the question. Phone number is 1-800-LOVE-191. Mike Catherwood, Psycho Mike, at KRock Psycho Mike is the Twitter handle. You can hear him on KRock and KRZQ, and where else are you guys on?
Just keep throwing them out there.
Are you on 91X? Or are you Phoenix? You're on
Phoenix.
KPUD?
Somewhere in Idaho.
Idaho, nice.
Reno, yeah, we got Reno. I believe Shreveport, Louisiana.
Shreveport, yeah, hitting the big markets.
Oh, it's all over the place.
It's awesome. But Mike is an integral part of that program. He'll be bright and early back on the job at about 5 o'clock with Kevin and Bean, and a happy guy, I bet.
No need for sleep. I'm like Tyler Durden.
3 or 4 days of this, and we're not going to be so happy. But you get sleep during the afternoon, right?
Yes,
Get
sir.
ready for the show. All right, Mike in here. I'm in here. We're taking your calls. Back in a second.
This hour of Loveline is brought to you in part by 500 Days of Summer. Don't miss the hit comedy of the summer, 500 Days of Summer, now playing everywhere.
Loveline.
Dr. Drew is hot.
Why, yes, he sure is.
You got it on Loveline. It is Loveline.
Loveline, 1-800-LOVE-191. Psycho Mike in the studio. We were just talking about getting Mr. Tom Arnold back up here. He's one of my very favorite guests in the history of Loveline.
The greatest moment in the history of Loveline.
And he was a participant in the greatest moment, and we thought we'd revisit that. Corey, you have that available? So here's what was happening. It was back in the Adam Carolla days.
Yep.
And Tom was the guest. And we had this woman that was that called in, and she was a sex phone operator.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem was that she was too good. She couldn't extend the calls to make the money, and so her management was on her because she would talk in a provocative way, and the guys would finish, and that'd be that, and she'd lose the money that she was supposed to be sort of engaging them in conversation, them and stringing them along, get at least 5-10 minutes out of it, and she was done in 3. So we started exploring, what she might do to get these guys to last longer, and this is how it went down.
Ring.
Oh, stop.
Ring.
Hi,
how
I didn't realize this was the start. So what we did was, Adam goes, I'll tell you what, I'll be one of these guys, and we coached her on the kinds of things she ought to do to get the guy to last. Like we said, talk about the Holocaust, and all of a sudden there was silence on the other end, and we were like, Holocaust? You know what?
Complete blank.
No, she had no idea what the Holocaust was. So we had to explain what the Holocaust was. And Adam goes, now, okay, I'll be one of these guys, and you show me how this is going to work. You show me how you're going to string this out by giving subliminal messages about horrible things like the Holocaust. And here we go.
Ring. Ring.
Hi, how you doing?
Ooh, hi, what's your name?
I'm Sugar. Who are
Sugar. I'm Ace.
you? Hey, Ace.
Yeah. What are you wearing?
Well, I'm wearing a nice black garter. Just thinking about the Holocaust right now.
Thinking about the Holocaust. That moment would go down in Loveline history. Again, just to set it up so you guys all understand how outrageous that was. We were literally saying, drop in, cancer, and drop in, some sort of horrible things from his history, Hitler and Stalin, maybe the Holocaust, and we could just tell by the silence on the other end, she had no effing idea what we were talking about.
And you made it very clear to try to do it subliminally.
We were doing an homage to an old Saturday Night Live skit that Kevin Nealon used to do called Subliminal Man.
Right.
He would go, he'd be saying like, well, today I'm selling this car, Cancer, and the car is about $35.99, and I think we get the Holocaust, and we're going to sort of drop in these words that are subliminally supposed to drive through. And that was her shot at that. It was well done. Let's go on here. Great moment of Loveline history. Thank you for revisiting that, Mike. I appreciate that. This is Niffy, who's 19.
Hey, Dr. Drew.
Hey, Niffy, you're on with Mike. What's happening?
Mad Pimp Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Last week about the dream I had.
That was
awkward dream.
That was you?
Yeah, that was me. Dude, I totally thought you were going to pick me. But
Well, you got close. You were up there.
No, I have a new question.
Yeah, okay.
So my ex was uncircumcised, and I have a new boyfriend who is, and it hurts during sex. Is that attributed to him being circumcised, or
No.
question or anything?
Well, once it's aroused, it's all the same, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right. So the previous was uncircumcised. This guy is circumcised. And
Yeah.
at what point are you having pain?
Well, when it's like all the way in, you know what I mean?
So
Like,
there's maybe a difference in their anatomy?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, there's more cushion with a guy who's uncircumcised.
No. Maybe there's just...
This new guy's got a little more to offer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They're pretty much the same size, though.
Is he maybe doing something different, in how he's operating?
Not really, not that I noticed, but
Well, let's put it this way. It really shouldn't be the circumcision. And why aren't you guys using a condom anyway?
huh?
Why aren't you using a condom?
Because I'm on birth control and we got tested.
Okay. All right, good.
Oh, yeah, I'm on Mirena. Is that I just got it, though. Would that be a factor?
It can cause some dryness, and that may cause some irritation. Is it that kind of pain?
I don't know. It's more like a sharp kind of pain.
Yeah.
But is Mirena like a good thing, or
It's a very effective pill, and it's listen. The general rule of thumb is we're trying to expose you to as little estrogen as possible.
Yeah.
The problem is when we really give you these powerful progesterones with no estrogen, we can cause dryness, we can cause irritability, and decrease in your sex drive and depression, and all these other side effects. You have to kind of watch out for that. That's all.
Oh, okay.
All right.
You need some more estrogen. Just have another dream about Drew, and your hypothalamus will be awash in a sea
Oh, my
of
goodness.
female juices.
It was a good dream.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All right, bye, Niffy. You take care.
much.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
And let's talk to Lee, 17. What's up, Lee?
Hey, Dr. Joe. I was just wondering if you could get a wart on your balls that's not an STD.
Yeah.
Because on my left testicle, I have this, like, bump, and...
Yeah, they usually end up being not warts. Again, you may not be able to identify what it is, but they usually
Pimple?
not warts. They're like sebaceous cysts and things, yeah.
And how would I go about removing it?
You'd probably a urologist or a dermatologist. And they may not be willing to do it, but that's where you'd start, okay?
Okay, so it's not going to go away, me doing nothing.
Lee, I don't know what it is exactly. People can, the most frustrating, the one thing I've learned from years on the radio, the most frustrating thing to try to contend with is a derm problem, a skin problem.
Right.
Because people they just don't know how to describe skin lesions. And God bless them, I don't blame them for that, but it just makes it impossible on the radio. If you want to send in...
Just twit pick it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be tough. Is it like a wart? Yeah. Well, is it like a wart or more like a pimple? Yeah. Well,
but, look, they don't have the terminology even to describe it, so it's tough. James, you're older. What's up?
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Going on.
Hey, real quick, I met this girl online, real cute, 5'2", 110 pounds, blonde girl, adorable. We went out a few times. About the third date, we got to where we were going to get intimate, and I was just putting my hands around her waist and in her waistline. I felt that there was something under her clothes, there was something under her jeans. And we got to where we were talking about it, and she showed me what she called a colonic, which I don't think she was using the right word, or maybe I'm not remembering it right, because as far as I know, a colonic is something different. But what she had...
It's a colostomy bag.
Well, okay, what she had was about, even with her navel off to her right side, was a clear plastic bag.
Yeah, it's called a colostomy bag.
Okay, right. And it was attached to her skin by what looked like the adhesive part of a giant Band-Aid.
That's right. It's adhesive to... James, these are colostomy bags. Lots of people have these things.
Well, this is all brand new to me. I'd never seen anything like that.
Well, the physician just told you 4 times it's a colostomy bag.
She had a resection of her colon or rectum or something for something. I don't know what. But,
exactly. And she said she had Crohn's disease. She had a lot of medical problems.
So Crohn's is horrible. People, they get all kinds of fistulas and all kinds of things come to the surface. And that even may be a jejunostomy and not a colostomy, but anyway.
Yeah, and, my heart was broken for her. I mean, she was telling me about all this stuff, and it was horrible, but the bag was about 6 inches square, and it was laying flat against her, and there appeared to be nothing in it.
Well, believe me, stuff gets in it all day long. So
right, and I was totally open-minded with it, and I was totally cool, and I was just listening to her, and I was just examining this thing, and she was pretty open to letting me check it out and everything, and there was a hole in her skin a little bit bigger than like a 50-cent piece.
That's her colon, dude.
No, I gotcha. It was just kind of it was something that was kind of amazing to me to just see something like that right in front of me. Okay, and all the plastic parts were clear, and you could see through the clear tubing. Literally, you could see inside of her body through the hole.
No, you can't see it. That's her colon. That's outside her body. That is the interior of her colon.
Okay, you could see the interior of the colon.
Yeah.
Exactly. And as we got into it, she told me that she had no functioning rectum.
Right, because it's just been disconnected.
It wasn't there. And I saw with my own eyes that it just down there. It was gone. There was a scar, but it was gone. There was no, it just wasn't there.
Are you just essentially confused by her situation?
Yeah,
all of this stuff was very confusing to me because I was pretty familiar with the female anatomy up until this particular date, right? So, as we were talking about it, she suggested that obviously anal sex wasn't a possibility with her, and I was like, well, yeah, sure, okay, that wasn't my thing anyway.
Well, how about? One of the things that these Crohn's patients get is rectovaginal fistulas.
Okay.
Did she have vaginal problems too?
Evidently, no. She didn't suggest anything like that.
Okay.
But we actually had conventional sex in the normal sense.
Okay.
And that was fine. That was totally fine. And when you get into it, something like that, I didn't even see it. I didn't even notice any of the extra equipment she had. But now I don't know if she was kidding, if she was being facetious or what. But I'm going to run this by you guys. Okay. She suggested that penetration in the hole that she had there was a possibility, like to have sex in that.
Well, isn't there a famous scene from like Rocky Horror Picture Show or something like that?
No, I had never heard of that. I'd never seen it in a movie. I had never heard of it.
No, I've heard there's some cinema, somebody tackled this in some macabre way, but I think she was pulling your leg.
Okay.
Because you could really, somebody with Crohn's, you can really cause trouble.
Wait, is Crohn's contagious?
No. Crohn's is not contagious.
I didn't think it was.
But it's inflammation of the lining of the gastrointestinal system from the mouth to the anus, and as a result, they get tremendous breakdown and fistulas and scarring and just a mess. So if she is controlled with the resections that she's had, she's not somebody who's likely to let you mess with much, I would think.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to go there anyway. I didn't.
I appreciate the way you phrased the question because it's a pretty outrageous suggestion. Let's just say.
I thought it was kind of outrageous too, and I obviously I didn't take her up on that.
Thank you, James. Thank you. You're a good man.
But after that was done, and I haven't seen her in a while and everything, it kind of ran through my mind like, is that really even clinically or physically possible?
I don't know about it being physically possible. I imagine it's
any hole, it's possible, right?
Any hole, any port in a storm, right?
Well, now slow down, Bucko. But the question is, would you tear apart the anastomosis and would the whole thing be ripped? Who knows? I can't imagine that surgeons put that in place with the expectation that kind of thing could happen.
In Germany, they do. But
in Germany, maybe they do.
Here, no.
Florida,
here
not
in
even
California.
Florida, no. Not even in Florida. Wow. Well, James, congratulations for being the first time we've had that call. I want to thank you. Mike, I blame you. It's
the freaks came out.
2 hours in. Well done. But James, are you still seeing her?
No. I haven't seen her in quite a long time, and it was just something that really kind of stuck in my mind. And honestly, you guys, I'm not pulling your leg. I'm not making this up.
I believe you. No, I believe you. I just don't believe that she was serious about.
And I don't know either. And I think she was kind of going for a reaction from me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, sure.
Yeah.
But honestly, it didn't look like it was possible because the part that was attached to her skin was attached with a big square of like permanent adhesive stuff. So if that was...
Well, that all can come down. No, that can all come off. That can all come down, and you just leave the little ostomy. But it's the size of a quarter, basically. So.
Yeah, it was a little bit bigger than a quarter, which would have been kind of difficult for me anyway. But it looked as though if it was going to happen, it would have to have...
James, the bottom line is don't do that.
Yeah, no, let's not even walk down that road another step. It's all good that you didn't do it. Listen, there's lots of... The crazy thing about medical conditions is we hide it all away in this country. We're dying and people don't understand what's out there. Crohn's, common disease, not uncommon. Common. Inflammatory bowel disease, common.
Well, yeah, it took him 20 minutes to get to the point where because he was so blown away by the fact that you had a colostomy.
I know, which is very common. Nick, 16.
Hey, my girlfriend's allergic to pretty much any kind of condom, latex and non-latex.
Why non-latex?
I don't know. She would get a bladder infection if I tried.
Yeah, well, that's not allergy. That's a bladder infection.
Okay, well...
So that means she gets a bladder infection every time she has sex with that happens to some women.
Okay, well, is there anything else I could do?
No, it has nothing to do with the condom. So why would you do anything else?
I don't know.
Yeah, wear the condom. Do not take it off. Make sure she has antibiotics after the encounter, if indeed that's something that happens to her. But do not use that as a reason not to wear a condom. That is not okay. Justin, you're 21.
Hey, Dr. Drew, what's up?
Justin, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. First-time caller. Just love you guys.
Good times.
And so when I masturbate, when I finish, sometimes I get a hard-on afterwards, and it hurts.
Mm.
Like my penis hurts, and
Mike's like, yeah.
sometimes it goes away, and a lot of times it'll stay for a good 20 minutes, and sometimes it'll even come back, but it's always gone when I wake up. Do I have anything to worry about?
Are you on any medication?
No, I'm not.
Then I would say no.
No?
No.
All right, then.
All right, then. I mean, if it stays, if you have something for more than a couple hours and it's really hurting, definitely want to get checked out then, but that's really unlikely. All right?
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Brittany, what's happening? You're 22.
Hi. Every time my boyfriend and I have sex, afterwards I get really nauseous.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Gulf. It's in between Elk Grove and Lodi in California.
Northern California. Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Say that again now. I just got struck by the location. I was like, where is Gold?
Every time my boyfriend and I have sex, I get really nauseous afterwards. And it just started happening not that long ago, and I don't know why.
Nauseous, like you're freaked out emotionally and disgusted?
No, just like, I don't, like, just like I gotta throw up. No, I'm not freaked out or anything. It's just, I don't know.
Do you throw up?
No, I just feel like I got to, and I just have to, like, lay there for about 20 minutes before I can move.
Very strange.
Wow.
That does not sound right at all. Do you have pain?
No pain.
And is it just, again, tell me your history again. How long have you been with this partner?
We've been together for 2 years.
And how long has this been happening for?
No, it just within like the last 2 months.
Has anything changed? Have you noticed anything different or anything different what you guys are doing?
No.
Boy, that is sort of so non-specific, it's hard for me to give you any ideas about what that might be. But I definitely would get checked out. I mean, sometimes it's infection, sometimes it's a cyst, sometimes nothing. It's something that just needs to be checked out, my dear.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye-bye. I wish I had something a little more clear to give her.
Plenty of girls have woken up next to me and then wanted to vomit after a long night of sex. They sober up and they look at what they've done.
Yeah.
But never during the act.
No, that would be silly.
No.
But afterwards, of course.
Yeah.
Katie, 22.
Hi.
Hey, what's
How
up?
are you?
Hey. We're good.
So I have a response to the boy I was calling earlier who said his girlfriend had an allergic reaction to the condoms.
Okay.
What I have found out from my personal experience of I get really, really frequent urinary tract infections and bladder infections.
Okay.
It's the lubrication on the condoms.
The lubrication is what's
Yeah.
causing the irritation?
Yeah, and
Okay.
as soon as I switched to using non-lubricated condoms, although it's not as pleasant, it does take a little more foreplay work to make
Mhm.
it happen.
Mm-hmm.
It went away like that.
So you were getting urinary tract infections every time with the lubricated condoms, and then
Every single time.
Okay.
And it was back to back, and it was just awful experience.
Mm.
And as soon as I switched, it made everything better.
good advice. Well, I hope they heard that. All right. Thanks for your call.
Bye.
And very quickly, this is Amber, 23.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I used to have anal sex all the time, and I never bled.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would feel like the last 2 years, every time I go to try to do it, I start to bleed.
Mike?
First off, good for you.
For being such a
For
trooper?
being so thorough and willing to please guys. Have you switched up partners?
Yeah, my last boyfriend, that's when it started, was my last boyfriend. Like, the first few times he did it, it didn't happen. And then it started to happen after that.
Has he gotten increasingly more aggressive?
Sometimes it will bleed, and I didn't even have anal sex.
Is there pain? Is there pain?
When the person tries to have sex with me, yeah. Not when. Sometimes it'll just happen.
But why do you keep trying to have sex if it hurts every time? Anal sex.
No, that's what I tried, because I thought maybe, like, something happened, like the skin tore or something, and it just needed to be healed, or...
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb. That's pretty sensitive skin back there, and I'm going to think that something probably did tear.
Think it's good bet?
I did a couple years in Chino, penitentiary, and I'm going to say that I know. I don't
You
know.
saw a bit of that?
Hey, look, it's sensitive area back there.
You don't want to tell us any detail?
No, my cellmate was a nice guy.
But he bled.
Or I did. But the bottom line is you're talking about pretty delicate stuff, right? The back door, Dr. Drew?
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Bleeding back there has got to be investigated for a number of different reasons. A, the bleeding can become brisk, and it's not like you can put your finger on it, put pressure on it, hold it, and make it stop. And, by the way, you can get significant iron deficiencies and anemia from these recurrent bleeds, more than you think, number one. Number two, tumors, cancers, inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn or ulcerative colitis can cause bleeding,
That's
and
a mess.
you wouldn't know that unless somebody looked back there. A doctor has to go look at it to see. So it could be something serious. And then number three, if it isn't something serious, it's still a hemorrhoid or a fissure or something that needs some kind of treatment, and it's going to be potentially a lifelong problem for you, whether or not you deal with it or not. But it's going to be much more serious if you don't come up with some kind of treatment plan for it. All right?
Okay, well, because when I first did it, I liked it. It didn't hurt, but would there be possibility that I could do it again and it won't bleed? Like if I get
Amber, did you hear anything I said? I used word like cancer and inflammatory bowel disease, fissure, hemorrhoids. These things, this is what's doing it. These things need treatment, and some of them are serious. So stop with the anal sex already, okay? And take care of the medical issue first, all right?
Okay.
Go see a doctor.
Oh, my goodness. See, Mike, you got a taste how this works?
I'm happy that there's a girl out there that's so into anal sex that she's gonna just look past the bleeding and the fact that she's got an old onion ring backstairs, back door. But it blows my mind that when a young girl especially, zeroes in on something she really likes sexually, there's almost nothing you could tell her to get her away.
Yeah, but part of it, it's not that she really likes it, it's that she knows her partner really likes it.
Yeah.
She's going to subject herself to that in spite of it being unpleasant and painful, and that's what drives me insane.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break. Back with Psycho Mike. Check him out at KRock Psycho Mike at Twitter, and we'll be back with more to Mike and more of me. We'll wrap up and wrap down. We'll get back.
This is Loveline. Oh, really? Loveline will be right back.
Well, Mike, good job in here. We got to wrap up kind of quickly, but
Thank you, Dr. Drew.
We've kind of broken you in here. You ready to do this rest of the week?
I am. Got the jitters out of the way.
Buck Cherry in here tomorrow night.
Nice.
Corn the next night.
Nice.
And we're hoping for
the most interesting man in the world.
Literally the most interesting man in the world is supposed to come in here on Thursday night. I may be in Boston at our friends at WFNX.
Don't worry.
But you'll be in studio holding it down with Mr. Smooth, Mr. Suave, the most interesting man in the world.
He better not disappoint.
He better be interesting. I'm going to be a little PO'd myself. So, again, Mike in here all week. Buck Cherry, Corn. We're hoping for the most interesting man in the world. So, Mike, thanks very much.
Thank you,
Thanks to the callers. Good luck to, what was our girl's name that won the $500 tonight?
Something Nicole.
We called her
Brianne Nicole.
Brianne Nicole. Congratulations on winning the money tonight. And thank you for the 500 Days of Summer promotion for enriching her tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
This has been Loveline. The opinions expressed on Loveline are not necessarily those of the staff, management, or sponsors of this station. The producer of Loveline is Dan Ingold, engineered by Anderson Callan. Loveline is a presentation of Westwood One. Loveline.